with Friday's press conference. Like I say, as journalists, we were like, this is great. It was like, I'd probably say the best Conte press conference since he arrived. I really think so. He was just, I think the expression that the kids use is no beeps given. He looked like a man almost unshackled from trying to please certain people anyway. And just something had fired him up. I don't know, perhaps it was the Richarlison criticism maybe. That question kind of, when he answered that, he suddenly, like, his eyes lit up and he came alive again. Maybe he's just irritated by, like, the boos from the crowd, during the Milan game. And obviously it was Davinson Sanchez's substitution. Maybe he was just irritated at the media, all of us. Maybe the things we've been writing about him and writing him off in general as well. Perhaps it's the lack of love he's now getting from the Tottenham fans. There's no singing of his name right now. And if anything, like I say, there's talk of, I didn't hear it, but other journalists said they could hear the Pochettino chant as people were going back to the train and away from the tube and things like that, or on the way to the tube. Yeah, just, I don't know. Whatever it was, Friday he absolutely came out swinging at the presser. He was taking shots at Richarlison, talking about the club signing, Danjuma, having a go at the media for constantly asking about his future, talking about the Spurs fans, having their patience being finished and creating a difficult atmosphere for the players, which went down like an absolute lead balloon, as you can imagine. It's the closest he's come, I feel, to actually saying he's not going to be here next season. He was talking about, I'm willing to die for this club, but only to the end of the season. I'm not going to keep killing myself. And it was all tied in with him saying that the club knows what he wants to do and all this sort of stuff. It was very much wasn't talking beyond the end of the season. Yeah, but look, as I said it before, despite this win against a ropey Forest side, his immediate situation at Spurs is going to be linked to results. And the moment, look, Spurs, I think in an ideal world, would like to just get to the summer, then everyone parts terms in an amicable way. There's no extra cost involved. And, Spurs have finished top 4 in that scenario as well. But like I said before, if there's any doubt suddenly that top 4 isn't going to happen, then I think that's when panic, we've seen it set in, and that's when you see some kind of change made. Essentially saying top 4 is like winning the title for Tottenham. It's like, oh, please stop saying that, especially when Arsenal are, 2-0 up at this moment at Fulham, and, they potentially could be winning this league title. It's not what Spurs fans want to be talking about. Yeah, top 4, it's our title. It's, oh, man. So, yeah, there's a lot of miracle talk. There's a lot of top 4 as a trophy. We've all been there before, and it's not the greatest statement in the world. And like I say, this whole kind of it's a miracle thing, it does do down the fact that, like I say, if they do it, it'll be 6 times in the last 8 seasons they've been in the top 4. So it's that's a lot of miracles. that's a bit. That's too many for a miracle, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. I will look, if Conte walks away in the summer having got 2 top 4 finishes, I think he's done a decent job. I don't think he's done a bad job whatsoever if he manages that. It is better than what had come before in the last 2 years. Would I say it was an amazing job? No. Would I say it was a miracle? No. But I think he'll have done a decent job, and I hope that's fairly reflected in the years afterwards. Look, if he can maintain this fire that seems to have come back into him, and wanting to, he's celebrating the goals was like manic again. He was back to like roaring and jumping around and everything. If he can keep the fire going, keep the players motivated and playing for him, which I didn't get any sense that they weren't yesterday. If he can keep that going, and the fixtures, falling slightly in their favour with other teams like Liverpool, got obviously some very tough matches ahead as well in the next run. Who knows? They might put together a bit of a run, and if they could finish top 4, I do think that would be almost like the perfect parting gift for both sides. In the summer, then you just go your separate ways. But Spurs have then got the platform for the next manager of Champions League football. Maybe that helps keep Kane happy. And Conte goes off feeling like he's done the best job he can do in his mind, perform miracles. And then we go from there. So there you go, really. That's that.